239 Football is proudly presented by V Studio. We are dedicated to helping you transform your creative ideas into truly unique and unforgettable experiences. Our comprehensive services include top-tier audiovisual production, professional photography, seamless live streaming solutions, and expertly organized events, all conveniently located in the vibrant heart of Naples. Discover more at www.vstudioestafel.com. Follow us on Instagram and join our community.
Anthony Riccici Masonry, with over 30 years of experience providing high-quality masonry work. If you're looking for construction finishes, we are your solution. We offer you quality for your projects, both interior and exterior. Anthony Riccici Masonry, supporting soccer in Naples.
Please feel free to contact us at 239-405-0447.
LG Home Team. Thinking about selling your house? Buy or sell your home with confidence at LG Home Team. Professional aesthetic preparation, professional staging that transforms your property, high-quality photography. Official sponsor of 239 Football Naples, Collier Builders Group, CBG Naples, your partner in high-standard residential remodeling and design in Naples, Florida. We create custom-made spaces with excellence and style, considering every detail and every home. This project is presented by 239 Football Naples. One Way Auto Care, your trusted workshop in Naples, Florida. Maintenance, repairs, and diagnostics with the best personalized service. Your car always safe, fast, and in the best hands. Learn more at onwayukr.com.
CGPS accounting service in the heart of Golden Gate. More than 15 years providing accounting and tax services, taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, notary services, and more. Call us at 239-434-74-CER or via WhatsApp at 239-449-0316. CGPS accounting service, proud sponsor of 239 Football Naples.
Black Mangrove Woodworks, specialists in wood and metal design and fabrication for residential and commercial projects. From tables and counters to unique decorative structures, everything is handmade with premium quality. Black Mangrove Woodworks, artisan design and fabrication in wood and metal. MangroveWoodworks.com, official sponsor of 239 Football Naples.
The Gulf Coast Adult Soccer League is the adult soccer league in Naples. Games are played at North Collier Regional Park. 7-a-side soccer from men, women, and co-ed categories from ages 18 up to 60. If you're looking to compete, have fun, and connect with soccer lovers of all ages. This is your league. 239 Football and Gulf Coast Adult Soccer League, supporting soccer in Naples.
Six Sigma Roofing, specialists in roofing, construction, and remodeling throughout Florida. Protect your home with quality, trust, and fast solutions for every need. Learn more at sixsigmaroofing.com. This message is brought to you thanks to 239 Football Naples.
At Super Soccer, we live and breathe soccer. Footwear, gear for teams, fan merchandise, and custom uniforms. Now you can print your name and personalize your uniform to represent your team in style. Super Soccer, proud sponsor of 239 Football.
Argentinos Naples Club, a cultural space for the Argentine community. Naples event organization, cultural parties, traditional food, and live bands. Join this passion on Instagram and Facebook. Hello, good evening. 239 Football. Good evening, Naples. Good evening to all of you who follow us. Once again, another Wednesday at V Studios to enjoy everything related to local and international football. Today we are actually going to be touching on several topics. I want to greet my colleagues now because there's also something we want to kick off the program with that happened very recently. So today we're also being visited by a friend once again, Marcelo. Well, for personal reasons, he's not with us again tonight, but he'll be back. But we have a friend visiting us who will be with us for the whole show. So Carlos, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, Rodolfo. Good evening to the whole staff and to everyone watching us.
And our friend Andy, how are you this evening?
Thanks once again for having me on the show. I think this is episode number 7, right? Number 7. 7th show.
Number 7.
Thank you very much for inviting me to take part here on 230 Nuevo Fútbol.
Thank you very much for being here. Andy from Entrevistas por 10, a man very connected to Inter Miami. We're also going to talk about the upcoming Argentina versus Venezuela match in Miami this Friday. Greetings, Franco. How are you, Franco?
Hello, good evening. Very well, it's always a pleasure to be here.
All right, very good. Devin, good evening. How are things going there in the control room? Well, today things feel a bit strange because a couple of hours ago, some news broke that even though it was expected to happen at any moment, well, it's always painful to announce the passing of someone. And a person connected to football passed away a couple of hours ago, Miguel Angel Russo, the coach of Boca Juniors in Argentina, and well, with a very long career. He was a player for Estudiantes de La Plata, always a super champion, champion of America, world champion. And as a coach, well, he was in Colombia too at Rosario Central. So, well, Carlos also has something to say about this. So it's
It's very painful. Yes, honestly, well, it was a bit expected. He was going through a very tough illness. You could see the ups and downs in his health, in his physical condition. And, well, he always found refuge in football in the challenge of wanting to overcome, of giving his best. He was always known for being that kind of person, both as a player and in everything else. We're talking about 50 years here. He was 69 years old and, well, 50 years in football, almost 30, a little over 30 years straight, I think. As a coach, he was also involved. He played for Estudiantes, played matches for the national team, but he didn't get the chance to go to that World Cup Argentina won in '86. Because of those things, I think he was dealing with an injury at that time. But anyway, I was lucky enough to have some conversations with him in Rosario because he coached Rosario Central for a long time and he's an idol there. And honestly, he was an extraordinary person with really great values that I, as a coach, always admired, even though I didn't really like his teams on the field or what they brought to the game. Yes, his way of handling things with the players, his way of dealing with the club staff, the coaching staff, everyone. He was someone who was very close to people, who had that style with the players, not only caring about their performance on the field, but always asking about their families, how they were doing. He would call you after training, and that's why he's so respected. And today, well, all the different tributes, not just from Boca, Rosario Central, Estudiantes, Lanús, Millonarios of Colombia, Vélez, Banfield, let's say, it's incredible, really. He had 26, 27 stints at different clubs, and they were all successful.
That's what everyone says, right? Caring not just about the day-to-day, but about the person. I say Andy when very well liked. Of course,
An angel, a real angel. He's gone now. Football is in mourning.
But when someone in football is called by their first name and everyone knows who Miguel is, especially in Argentina, Miguel was already known as Russo, just like Diego was known as Maradona. Of course, there are indeed many individuals who manage to truly make a significant name for themselves. And when you ultimately reach that particular point in your career, it's undeniably because you possess something extra, something truly special and unique that genuinely goes above and beyond the ordinary scope of what you typically do. It's absolutely true, and honestly, he was always a remarkably well-loved and highly respected person by everyone around him. That
has to do with the way you approach the profession, a job that constantly puts you in the spotlight with high levels of stress. Well, it's publicly known. Several coaches have suffered illnesses, all related to stress, to what it means, especially in South American and Argentine football, where if you lose 3 games, you lose your job. And it's not just you. You're responsible for a whole structure of people, and all of that plays a part. And he always conducted himself in the right way. That's why even his rivals respect him.
Of course, well, that's also why he kept going, because his health was already quite deteriorated. You could see it with Franco too. We had been talking for a month already. You could see he was in pretty bad shape and he had been hospitalized, and yet he wanted to keep going because what will happen to my people, you know? Right.
The concern of a coach, of a true
coach, of a leader who,
without work, the others.
If the coach loses his job, the assistant, there are a lot of people, usually 6 or 7 in small coaching staffs, and nowadays there are much bigger ones with more people, all of whom answer to the head coach. Just as everyone benefits when the coach lands a good contract in Europe or Arabia, when everyone is out of work, it's tough. Maybe the head of the group, who earns the most, and perhaps rightfully so, has another source of income, but the rest need to work.
Yes, we're talking about someone who had a long and very successful career, and if he had wanted to and decided to, he could have spent the last 5 years or so just traveling. I estimate about 5 years. But anyway, as he said in his last interviews, and maybe people who had the chance to hear him speak at some point know this, what do people who are connected to football do, whether as players, coaches, managers, agents, fans, or whatever? They will always be tied to football because that's what makes them happy, regardless of the opportunities they might have.
Yes, and it is often said that this experience also significantly strengthened him in a certain and profound way. Of course, obviously.
Yes, that gave him encouragement, knowing, watching videos, things, TV, keeping up with everything.
being at home all day recovering or trying to recover from such a serious illness. Something as brutal as that also means you're constantly thinking and overthinking all day. For many years,
He breathed football constantly. Miguel, here we brought in his honor the Boca jersey.
Yes, we should have brought the Decentral one too, but well, here we have this one.
In honor of our dear friend Miguelito, and well, here it is, beautifully signed by our very own La Pache. It's a nice memory I have here from Boca.
yes, it really is. Honestly, that's when you truly realize the profound greatness of a person in the world of football, that it's not just the passionate Boca fans, but there's a universal respect, a deep admiration.
The respect.
Incredible from everyone, even from the
The people of Colombia are crying because he became
Champion with Millonarios. That's where I think the process began. They diagnosed his illness and started the first treatments. Very grateful. And well, I also think that the people at Boca made the Bombonera available. The wake will be held there. Well, I don't know if that's confirmed, Confmer, or just a personal wish, right? But anyway, that's up to the family to decide, but it would also be good for the people of Rosario to have the chance to say goodbye as well.
Yes, well, Franco will let me know if people are starting to join the chat. If more people join, it's just Pablo for now.
For now. Romero says good evening.
Very good, Pau. That's really excellent. Pablo too, surely, even if he's on the other side, I have great respect, genuine respect for him. So, well, let's carefully close this brief parenthesis for now. It's always a bit difficult to start, and it truly is a challenging situation when things like this unfortunately happen, especially when it involves such a genuinely great guy, someone whom absolutely everyone really likes and deeply respects. And to find someone who speaks badly of him, you'd really truly have to look incredibly hard and diligently and
Besides, Rodo, let me add, since he was still active, he was Boca's coach. It's like losing a very important part of a team. If he had been retired, well, it would have been the same.
Same, but the
thing is, they're working. He was
here in Miami 3 months ago coaching. He was active.
So it's like having someone active who's leaving us. I mean, if, like Carlito said, he had retired and was at home relaxing, well, you could say he was already onto something else. But anyway, may God have our dear Miguelito in his glory.
Russo is going to wrap up the topic, so our condolences to the whole family in this very difficult moment. And now let's get into what was another away defeat for FI Naples on Sunday. Start getting the footage ready for me because we're going to analyze it. They lost 2-1 away. Do we have an intro first? Yes, we have an intro. All right, play me the Naples segment and we'll continue.
CGPS Accounting. We prepare your personal and business taxes, accounting, payroll services, audits, and we represent you before the IRS. We also have notaries in the heart of Golden Gate, ENF, across from the Community Center, 239-434-7400. CGPS Accounting Services.
All right, so let's take a look at the footage. Carlos, last week we talked about how this was one of the 2 games they couldn't afford to lose. They had already lost one against Portland and now this one too. It was supposed to be a draw. It was supposed to be a draw because now you've brought another rival into the ring who will want to fight you for that 4th spot, which is Omaha, who are now just 4 points behind with 9 to go. So no, Naples didn't play badly, but the result? Well, here we see Enderlon's first chance. Clear, clear, clear. Go on.
Chances for...
They had chances. They could have won. They had chances.
Now the result, sorry, Franco, the result was 2-1, 3-2. It always shows a close game, just a 1-goal difference. Well, except for that game we watched, remember? The one at the brewery where the first half was 4-0 and then we ended up winning by 1 with a goal.
But it's all about the details. Look at how, in a game where you can't afford to lose, notice how that huge gap appears in a team that looks almost split with that 4-3 from Trezo, or 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it. But look, we're going to see it now. By playing like this, you force one of your wingers, in this case the number 10, to have to track back in a way that doesn't suit him.
No, that's clear. Haven't there been a lot of games we've watched from the stands where we've had exactly that debate? In football terms, when the number 10 is pushed out wide, he contributes very little when it comes to tracking back. And if he does track back, the opponent's goal ends up being too far away for him, precisely where he shows his best. His greatest strengths are in attack.
There goes one from Naples, a shot from outside, soft, no problem, but there it is, look. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the number 10 running all the way over there.
And well, there he gets behind him. 2 against 1, the central midfielder can't get there.
And a clear chance right in front of Delgado, but you'll see it better here. Look, there are the 2 holding midfielders plus the 4 defenders. The team isn't badly positioned because, in fact, they have a numerical advantage, but it's when tracking back that's when they're failing, because even though you have a numerical advantage, they're also attacking you with 5. So you force it, and the number 10 lets him go because he doesn't have that drive to track him all the way back. There he let him go, Cisnero picks him up, but it's already too late. The cross came in, and those coming through the middle aren't properly marked. So those situations happen many times in different matches. And what I'm getting at is that this was a special match, Carlos, because I repeat, if Naples had tied it, they would have kept this team 6 points behind. Now they're just 4 points behind you.
And now Carlos, who used to say so much, no, I still stand by it.
I have faith in them. I think we're going to be there. We're going to hold on to that 4th place, especially because now, well, on the 18th this weekend and then the next, we have 2 home games in a row where we're strong. We always talk about the importance and the weight of playing at home for teams, and well, you can see a bit of that, right? Most of the points that Naples dropped were in away games, just like all the teams in this division. And that's also why Naples is so strong here in the city.
Yes, now they have another away game against the last place team, the last one.
We have, which it shouldn't be a problem for us. And then
they have 2 home games. They finish with 2 home games. If you get all 9 points, that's it, you're done, right?
That's it. Well, but then I keep saying, I always say it, you have to talk about it. I already said it here 3 or 4 shows ago. Every show, yes, because of the team's consistency, because of the team's moments.
The team. Carlos, this is a great goal. The finish is amazing, but look at this. A long ball, and watch how they track back. You end up with 5 Napoli players behind the ball line on the clearance. Instead of ducking so the ball goes to the keeper, it comes back to the middle because you're one-on-one with the center backs. He also
cleared it
badly.
Yes, shot from outside the box, yes.
Shot, but if he hadn't shot and instead passed it to the one making the diagonal run, it would have been a clear goal chance. So yes, it was a
match with its own difficulties too, because at one point, due to a storm, I think they were stopped for, I don't know if it was 3 hours, 2 hours for
this raining.
So that already throws the game off a bit, which is what sometimes happens here. Well, because of the weather conditions here in Reos, so there are matches that sometimes get stopped for 2 hours after playing 60 or 70 minutes and then having to start all over again, warm up again. It's like playing a whole new match. But anyway, at that point, FC Naples had gotten back into the game and had some chances.
Yes, they had some chances there. A beautiful play, a great goal too, because it was a really well-constructed move.
All the teams from 1st to 8th place, I think they're very evenly matched. The difference is just 1 goal, a detail in the match, a set piece. Games are going to be decided like that, and even more so in the playoffs. But anyway, I still stand by what Franco was saying, the idea that we're going to have the chance to see FC Naples play a home playoff game. At least that's what we're going to try to make happen. I think so too.
Yeah, for sure.
With the sports section, so.
Another yellow card for the center-back Dengler. Hopefully he can finish the season without issues. How many yellow cards?
Is that now? A lot.
Well, he's just coming off a suspension,
Look at that ball. There we are, man. And well, that's how it is with this match. That's why, you know, the match ends 2-2. We still keep the advantage because of that. But anyway.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of football. Of course, yeah, obviously it could have ended in a draw because the team created chances. I mean, as the away team, they showed up and gave it their all. But what I'm saying, Andy, is the same thing we've talked about and we'll see later. The same thing happens at Inter Miami. I mean, there are games where you're playing for the season and you can't just play wide open, going back and forth, because sometimes it's better to take a different approach.
Well, that idea of playing intelligently, understanding the game, the moments and the processes, and whether you're playing away or not, has a bit to do with what we were talking about with Inter Miami. Everything is connected to the football here, where sometimes the event or the spectacle is prioritized over the result, and coaches like that back and forth style you mentioned. But maybe by dropping back, covering space, waiting for your moment, knowing that as the away team, a draw would have benefited FCL Naples a lot in this case.
Much.
Leaving yourself exposed with space in the goals.
Of course, for you, sir, because Marcelo, who usually sits in that chair, I already more or less know if you prefer results or style.
No, I always go for a combination of both. The coach is here. No, but for me, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. There are 2 things I wanted to mention. They're texting me. Sorry for checking my phone. Pasta from Miami, the famous Pasta, is sending his regards.
Very good.
And someone named Juan, who is a member, is also sending greetings to the show.
Very good, very good.
So then,
let's see, we have a few different types of greetings.
Yes, let's see. Ricardo Cabrera says greetings. Let's see, who else?
Ricardo Cabrera, Venezuelan. So Venezuela is playing on Friday in Miami against Argentina. There's a group going from here to the match. Of course, Dossi 3.9 de Fútbol will be there to cover the event as well.
Friendly match.
But Ricardo is also
A referee. He's also a referee. And his son is also a player on this team.
Ether says hello. Andy Gallardo says that Naples has to win the 6 points left here. And the Dos Tres Nueve crew is here to support.
Yes, yes. We're watching the chat privately. We are. Thank you, Andy, Carolina. Thank you, always loyal supporters who never abandon us.
Carolina Arusha.
Esther from Villa Angela, Chaco, that's my hometown too, always loyal. Look where they're watching from, how
Nice.
very good. They are from
Rosario Central.
No.
Rosario.
one. A tribute to Russo, so greetings to all the people from Villa Angela, Chaco as well, who always watch us. A big kiss over there. We need the Naples standings so we can understand a bit more about what's coming, the 3 matches. It's a bit...
Like what Andy was saying about the 2 home games are very important, and I think that's where the team, the coach, the fans, all of us are convinced that we're going to at least hold on to 4th place.
There we can see Naples is in 4th place. They've played 27 matches. Velocity, who are above them, have 2 more points, 1 game less, and they still have to play against Portland, who's in 6th place. That's the game in hand, so they're going to battle it out among themselves. The problem is that if Portland wins, they'll be just 1 point behind Naples, and Velocity will stay on top. But anyway, as we can see, Portland and also Omaha, who have just joined the race, who beat Naples and are now in 5th place, also have to play against Nashville, who are at the top, so they're all going to take points off each other. The advantage Naples has is that they're about to play away against the team that's last. I mean, if you let me choose an away game against the last place team, well, last place...
That team is basically not fighting for anything, absolutely nothing, because here, since there is no relegation, obviously they're not playing for anything. They have no mathematical chance. You can see it in the table. They're lost. They have no mathematical chance of making the playoffs. So it's an ideal match to regain confidence, at least to get 3 points, and then knowing you have 2 games left. But once...
In football, do you ever go in confident that you're going to win? No, never confident, never confident. But well, it's the match, the mental match.
If I were a coach, this is the match where you have to make the player understand psychologically that with the way FC Naples is right now, if they want, they can become champions. I mean, the tournament for FCPO could start this coming week. And yes, let's see, Sion. Well, but what I mean is, as a coach, sometimes you have to use that psychological tool, say, guys, we've had a fantastic tournament, because up to now it's been a fantastic tournament. The champion isn't the one who wins this tournament, because the possibility of the playoffs means that, at least right now, looking at the table, there are 12 or 13 teams fighting for something, either to keep their playoff spot, home advantage, or from 6th to 12th place to get into the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you have to play away. So all those teams are going to give it their all in this last round. Well, you, as Rodolfo says, have to play away against the last place team. Well, guys, let's not relax. If we win that match, then we have 2 at home, and then it's all about the playoffs deciding at home, and all you have to do is win 6 or 7 matches to get into a final.
Of course, it depends. It depends on Naples, because if they get 9 out of 9 points, I think they could even end up in 2nd place. Watch out, because Nosville, who's currently in 2nd, also has tough matches. They play against the teams in 4th, 5th, and 6th place, so they're going to take points off each other. And then, who knows, you also have Velocity ahead of you. I mean, I love the fixture. The only away game I have is against the last place team.
You said something key. I mean, it still depends on themselves. It depends on themselves. That's why I say, yes, if the players manage to understand that, guys, we're 6 or 7 games away from making it to a final, something historic with everything that means and all that, it can definitely be achieved.
It's a great achievement. Where a new team is positioned in the league like that, I mean, people demand, they demand. But they're in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, right? We are.
Of course, we demand it, Andy, because look, the team is responding. They're in the quarterfinals. If the team in its first season were in 13th place, barely scraping the last spot, well, we'd be saying, well, of course, it's the first season.
What can you do to support them?
They're getting settled, but the team responded, so of course.
I laugh because I'm an accredited journalist for Inter Miami. If we can touch on that topic, I'll start off like this, and I can tell you what I've been through. We were always at the bottom. Good evening.
Good evening to Christian in the chat. Andres Bell, Mateo Foster also sends his regards.
Very well, thank you guys, thank you. Yes, we're going to wrap up with the sponsorship from Devon for the Naples block, and then we'll get into Inter Miami, Andy. We have a lot to talk about as well, which is almost the same situation. Inter is already qualified, trying to finish as high as possible, but also with the same defensive problems as Naples. There are many points in common that we'll be discussing. So Jordi Alba, whom you praise so much, is really making you look good. So, well, we're going to talk about that too, but wrap up the Napoli segment for me, and then we'll continue with Inter Miami's victory, everything about Messi's match. Today we also have the Tarjetazo to hand out. There's news from the Under-20 World Cup. There's everything. There's stuff from the Argentine League. Not much from Mexico because they're more focused on Gilberto Mora and what's going to happen with the Under-20 team that plays against Argentina in the quarterfinals. But there are also some statements from Liga MX. There's a lot. Wrap up FSC Naples for me, and then we'll continue with Inter Miami.
At CGPS Accounting, we prepare your personal and business taxes, accounting, payroll services, audits, and we represent you before the IRS. We also have notaries in the heart of Golden Gate, in front of the Community Center, 239 434 7400. CGPS Accounting Services.
All right, here we are. While we adjust a few camera details, we were with our sponsors, so let's get right into what is, or rather what was, Inter Miami's victory. Andy, there's a lot to talk about there, and there are still some matches left, but let me introduce it, and then we'll dive straight into the report. Go ahead, introduce Miami for me.
Six Sigma Roofing, leaders in roof inspection and construction in Southwest Florida. We offer you room remodeling and even complete renovation of your property. We can also build the house of your dreams. We have various models for you to choose from. We are conveniently located in the beautiful city of Fort Myers. You can reach us by calling 239-888-6613, or alternatively, you may dial 239-839-4243. We are Six Sigma Roofing, your trusted and reliable roofing experts.
All right, so let's really get into what was a truly impressive Inter Miami's comprehensive 4-1 victory, Andy.
Evolution, New England, spectacular. I was saying off camera, talking with the production team, that you have a good memory because you remember that I spoke highly of Jordi, that they were the most consistent players, and this past Saturday he scored 2 goals, very beautiful goals, and Allende as well. A 4-1 that keeps giving Inter Miami, Mascherano's team, a boost. So we've got a Friday and Saturday coming up with the national team, but we still don't know if Messi will play in either of the 2 games. What do you think? Let's see, Rodo, with your experience.
For me, that's when the Inter Miami footage starts. For me,
The one against
Venezuela, but the thing is, the second match was going to be played against Puerto Rico and Chicago. Hold on, Depue has bad...
Bunny is the coach there? Puerto R?
So, since they were going to play in Chicago against Puerto Rico, I was betting everything that Messi would play the first one. Now it looks like both matches will be played in Miami. He might not even play 10 minutes. Well,
It seems like the possibilities are already closed, MIR. We have direct contacts with the BMG organization, and even they are expressing some doubts. I don't know if it's part of the marketing, but Chicago is definitely off the table now. If Chicago's out, that's already 100% confirmed since Ticketmaster started refunding tickets, so here we are. Let's get back to the topic of Messi. Is it better for us if Messi is with Atlanta on Saturday or if he's playing a friendly with Venezuela on Friday?
As a coach, from a sporting perspective and considering what's at stake, obviously it's better for him to play on Saturday and be at his best against Atlanta. But let's not forget something else. The best player in the world over the last 25 or 30 years, some would say in the history of football, is saying goodbye. These are his last matches with the Argentine national team. All of that generates a lot of marketing. There are contracts involved. There are organizations. There are...
another thing, Carlos, which you know, we've talked about it before, Messi doesn't need training. The more matches he plays, the more he stays in shape. He keeps himself going with minutes on the field. Do you think that...
He could play on Friday?
I genuinely think he absolutely could. I truly believe he could play. I can definitely imagine maybe the very last 30 minutes he could indeed.
Play the first 45 or the first 40 to 45 minutes. And then yes, he could also play on Saturday, play the whole match, and then depending on how he finishes on Saturday, he could also play on Tuesday. Either 45 or 30 minutes, no problem.
I think these are things that get discussed. Venezuela, a friendly match, new coaching staff. For me, a huge mistake because Batista did things right. Venezuela was knocking on the door. I firmly believe that when you keep knocking and they slam the door in your face once, twice, 3 times, the 3rd or 4th time they open it for you. And for me, Venezuela was doing things well. It was time to continue the project because they were close. But no, they dropped him unfairly. But you keep at it, you keep going, and at some point you get your chance.
But that's about giving time to processes in football. That's why
Nowadays, there's no patience for coaches. There's no patience with the...
In the chat, we have Andres who says, relax, it's still more tanto tuono. Pablo says, if Messi doesn't play, I'm not going on Friday, that's why. And what can you do? Andy Gallo says, they should play on neutral ground since the game in Chicago was canceled.
It said that it's going to be at Chase State. It's not going to
be played. Look, on one hand, those of us in communications are already receiving emails with a date for Tuesday the 14th against Puerto Rico, so I don't think the media organization is sending us something that's not going to happen. I mean, the game was moved from Chicago to here, and that's final. Now, the organizers were also commenting today on Marca, which is a very important media outlet. They were talking about 3 hours ago that they still haven't decided where the Spain match will be. Yeah, I mean, there's a colleague who was talking, and I called her when I was with Carlito coming here because I want to know how they're publishing that. Yes, on the other hand, the organization is sending me an invitation for Tuesday so we can get our credentials. So there's a pretty strange game going on here. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's going on. I think these things can be discussed. What I was getting at is that even though Venezuela has a new coaching staff, and it said that when a new coach starts, the players want to prove themselves and give a little more than they usually do, I think these things can be talked about. Guys, look, it's a friendly match. Messi has to play tomorrow. He's going to play a few minutes. Let's take care of our legs, guys. Let's protect our legs. In that context, I think it can be discussed. Because
for these kinds of things, you have the pressure of a stadium full of people who paid to see Messi. And I don't know about the contracts. Have you seen AFA's contracts for these friendlies? And Messi is required to play.
Well, you have to see because most contracts sometimes include a clause. Obviously, Messi's clause must depend on the minutes he plays, whether he plays or not. There must be different amounts, right, Carlos?
Let's be honest, we all know football. I agree with you. This match doesn't benefit anyone.
Obviously. Yes, obviously what's at stake in terms of sports is practically nothing. Yes, for the coaches, it's useful to have players, to see how the players respond, and to start putting together, especially for Argentina, the logistics of what the World Cup could be like. And why do I say what the World Cup could be like? Because look, this still hasn't really been discussed. Well, maybe in some media it has. But what just happened with this Chicago match, with the problem in Chicago, in Los Angeles and everything, we need to be careful and stay alert. There are already a lot of people saying that things are really bad with the people. With the way things are politically and the issue of migration, we have to see if next year things can proceed normally. Maybe in a month or two, everything will be resolved. But what happened in Chicago, honestly, makes me concerned about the World Cup in the future if things continue as they are for Scaloni, for the players who might end up being called up for the World Cup. It helps with logistics, timing, and how to organize things. But
that's what I meant, not in terms of football, but even so, when I say in terms of football, this match doesn't really help Scaloni much either, because I remember that for the previous World Cup, Enzo Fernandez and Thiago Almada made it onto the squad here at the Hard Rock in Miami against Honduras in a friendly match, but the World Cup was just around the corner.
Well, in that case, it does help for those. For the coaching staff, it helps because it's not just about the game, it's about how they get along, if they fit into the group itself, I mean, all those kinds of things. Obviously, we went to see that match too. I think 3-0, Argentina played really well. If you say, hey, they picked him because of that 3-0, no, the coach also watches the training sessions, how the player responds, even more than in the match, especially in these kinds of games.
Politically, what's happening is that at the Monumental, they close the upper tier because it doesn't fill up. Tickets aren't being sold, maybe for the reason you mentioned, that it's a match that doesn't generate much interest.
When
seeing Messi talking
about the World Cup, Andres Ver asks, he says talk about the World Cup prices, and he's right.
It's crazy, 3.
More than...
Another factor is that for this match as well, until the very last moment, they hadn't lowered the prices, and the prices still haven't gone down for a match where Venezuela 2 or 3 weeks ago was already eliminated from the World Cup. So Venezuelan fans are disappointed with their team not making it to the World Cup. The political situation in the country, which is also complicated in Miami, the Argentine national team, honestly, even though there are a lot of us in Miami and we really follow the team, in fact, we're going to attend, we'll be there on Friday. If we can go on Tuesday as well, we'll go on Tuesday. But football-wise, we also understand that it doesn't really excite us that much because culturally we like it. It's a day to spend with family, with friends and everything. We go, we do the pregame, we travel from here, so it's a whole day. But if you're just going to watch the football match, honestly, and there were tickets at $300, the good seats were $300. So if a family of 3 or 4 goes, we're talking about, right? It's also the Messi effect. Lido,
Messi is around, it's going to continue.
But for the World Cup, they're saying that, well, tickets for the final are at least 2,000. 2,000 exactly.
$2,735. No, but
Still, Franco, look, the problem with Argentina is always that everyone wants to see Messi, and a lot of people from other countries come to see Argentina because of Messi. But now I've seen that tickets for the main powerhouses, Germany, France, Brazil, are more or less at the same prices as Argentina. They're all about the same, and they're expensive tickets. So that's how we start. Let's see what happens if the prices drop later. For the Copa
America, it was all the same. It was the big teams and the smaller ones. It's like $50. Yeah, of course, there was
a big difference. That's not happening today. From what I've seen, tickets for the more powerful teams are all about the same, all expensive. There are no cheap ones. They're all expensive, very expensive. Especially if you add to that the fact that you have to follow them because that's where you'll end up. They say Argentina is going to play on the East Coast. Maybe Brazil will play on the coast or wherever they get assigned. I don't think, for example, that any team will have to play one match on the West Coast and another on the East Coast because logistically, that's just not sustainable. But you still have to follow them. If you want to follow your team and you're going to watch their first 3 matches, you'll end up on the East Coast. You'll have a match in Florida, a match in New Jersey. I mean, your first
group stage will be like that. You can relatively follow a team. But after that, given the distances that will have to be covered, we know it's impossible. Unless, well, those who have a private jet and all that have that possibility. At least, I don't know if your pilot is available for the World Cup.
I remember back in '94, when I had the honor of being here in the United States, living here, there were 50 of us, the Miami supporters. We went to California, we went to Boston. It was a wonderful experience. We traveled with that World Cup and, well, we had the problem with Diego, but we were all very hopeful when they
cut his legs off. But anyway, as Andres Bell says, the truth is that today the prices are really, really high. In fact, I have friends who have already decided to travel. Carlos Miraba, we're going over there to the World Cup, and I tell them, come. But you know, the cost, even for us who live here, it's expensive.
Two things. First, it's true that the U.S. is considered a world power above everyone else, and economically it's always been strong. I don't know if that's one of the reasons for the ticket price gouging. Now, on the political side, Franco, since you know more about that, it seems to me that the World Cup was already committed to the United States long before
Trump.
Now, it's said that there was some kind of warning talk from Infantino to Trump to try to get him to loosen things up a bit. But honestly, the truth is he doesn't care at all. What's happening is working against the biggest show you're going to have next year because, and that's even after he got up and danced there when the
team was winning, remember?
Yeah, he did that. There was someone from the PG who was looking at him like, what is this guy doing? He was just there for the
photo. I mean, apparently he wasn't really supporting the
sport. Next year we have some truly big and exciting sporting events happening right here. Help me out. We're talking about the Super Bowl in February and of course the World Cup.
Yeah, those are 2 huge ones.
And that's really it. And we are absolutely boycotting them because honestly, my dear folks, what is truly happening here?
That this is happening, that a soccer match is being moved from one state to another because of this situation, which has a lot to do with what you're talking about, with the administration of our president in the United States. But of course, because even though people are scared, if you show this kind of thing, it can be quite impactful. No, people aren't traveling. Not only are we stuck here inside, but people from other countries don't want to come because they're afraid that at immigration they'll be told no. I mean, it's logical, right?
I don't know, I heard somewhere.
Some people don't want to travel because of that.
But I don't know if the cold is getting to us. I'm freezing tonight. Who's in charge here? You with the jacket. Are you controlling the air conditioning? No, I'm not hot. It's cold. Do you want to come in?
Some
goat or something? Who is it? Who's driving the Travers here? Nadi that they all left FRAGO.
In the
studies. I don't know if the cold is keeping me from thinking, but when did we leave Inter Miami for the World Cup?
I truly don't know.
Relates to the weekend.
The Argentine national team is Venezuela. The Vino Tinto is Inter Miami. Everything that happens in our state, in Florida, football, we're breathing more football than ever before. It's incredible. Inter brought all of that. And speaking of Inter, well, they're leaving us. You were telling me about Jordi Alba, about Busquets. So many things are going to happen when these people leave the Inter team, but
well, it's also a matter of time. I mean, even the greatest legends can't play forever. They eventually have to depart too. I think you have to retire at just the right moment. I think it's fine. I mean, he already gave Inter what he had to give, and you can see a bit of a drop in his performance because obviously age catches up with everyone. Now let's take a look at the footage of Inter's win. Look, he puts Messi and two forwards on the field with Suarez, who isn't at 100% and doesn't contribute much to recovering the ball, even though he always puts in his usual effort. But I think this was a match to put in players like that, and in fact, the result proves him right. But look at this. Look, Devin, can you pause it for me right there? Rewind it. Look, this is a detail I want you all to see. Rewind it, because look, pause it.
How strangely DePaul is positioned, the blonde one.
No, keep going. Keep going. Look, I'll tell you when to stop. After it passes DePaul, then the match starts with a fight. Sometimes it starts off already fighting, and he's distracted. Look, stop it.
There it is.
Messi is the only one who's alert down here, down below, and he's telling the guys, they played it quickly, heads up. But everyone else is busy arguing about something else.
They're not arguing, they're turning their backs to the ball. In other words, the three players closest to the ball have their backs turned to it.
So the best in the world, not just because of what he does with his feet, but because of these details, he's the best. He's the only one who noticed, he realized it.
A little from afar, pointing and...
Of course, but I imagine that pointing was accompanied by a shout.
No, those are mistakes and details that can decide a match, and you already start at a disadvantage because of a lapse in concentration. That is clearly a distraction, a lack of focus, because then inside the box, look, there are two attackers, two opposing players, and there are four defenders, yet the one who ends up winning is the one who is...
Attacking, you have a numerical advantage, but you're already asleep from the moment the play starts, so they catch you off guard. Obviously they do, and well, this is always the two sides, Andy, that we talk about with Inter Miami, the defense and this, but up front it's a different story, right? And on top of that, he's like a magnet. Look at the rebounds. They all fall to him, and it's incredible, it's unbelievable. Hopefully we'll have Messi for a few more years, because even if he's only at half capacity, and right now he's actually feeling good, I see him looking quick, looking explosive. We'll see now how the heat and humidity affect him. You can see it on his face. But that's why I say he could play 30 minutes on Friday and then play again on Saturday. After all, Friday's just a friendly. There's Allende's goal, Polo is offside, and it's clear. That's obvious. If my friend were here, he'd be the only one to argue it, and Paul is going to argue it, but we already know him.
That's what he's there for.
Bodyguard?
For Messi, and to argue about everything the whole match.
And now the freedom Messi gets, this is what I don't understand about some things in defense, the opposing defenses too, that give Messi this kind of freedom. Program.
The topic on every show is always about the goals that are scored, whether they're due to the striker's skill or because it's just way too easy. And well, we always end up talking about that. The ease and the space you find in MLS, in USL 1, in the USL Championship and all that, which you just don't see in other football. That's the reality.
No, but you coaches sometimes, well, not all of you, but most say, don't listen to the journalists. They don't know anything. But I imagine there's a lot. Look, there's that tired face, not from being tired, but from the heat.
Pretty sweaty.
Right. If we hear, and a lot of other media outlets are saying it's the defense or this or that or whatever.
Mascherano doesn't listen to it. He doesn't know it.
But yes, but not the opponents.
Nor Messi's opponents either.
No, that's why I'm telling you, there's something general, or maybe they do listen. If we talk about Miami, about FC Naples, and we see it in the local teams here, in the UPCLL, in the LAL, in whatever league they're competing in, but the reality is that it's a problem at the national level.
Listen, if I point something out to you about state, yes, here, and I show you images, the defense, I analyze it, all of that, the next day, you go and try to correct it. This Rodolfo speaks from the heart.
He tries to correct it, but the work is very gradual, and that's where time is needed. The time that, as we said before, Batista wasn't given in Venezuela. In football, things don't improve from one week to the next, because afterwards,
players leave you.
Of course, that's why you had to start
again
a new process. It's a long process, and if not, you have to bring someone in right away. But it's so
hard to fix this. This can be fixed in a couple of weeks. It's not that hard to fix this.
Did you read what Messi wrote to Jordi Alba? Like, who am I going to have behind me to pass to?
But Jordi is also in his last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone leaves, that's it. That's all.
And
Messi wrote something to him on his page saying, who am I going to have behind me now? So the team falls apart. You had a team all set up.
now who do you bring in?
Bring back the one who...
There you go. Let's see what a coach does when he loses two players. No, well...
I'm going through the same thing at Stay. I'm going through a similar moment of transition, renewing the squad with young players. And of course, sometimes the results aren't what you expect. What you're used to, sorry. You have to give the process time.
They understand. You have to give
process time.
You also have to get your Messi a left back who understands him.
That's right.
You have
See, if you build the team around one player, you have to see how much that player can actually give you or not, or how many minutes he can play. You have to make a long-term plan. Another one who's apparently returning to MLS soccer is Tata Martino. Atlan.
Good. That's good. That's always good. That kind of coach is always a good thing. But with Jordi Alba, I think Jordi Alba is more relevant right now than Busquets. I think he still has one more season left to play.
But, well, he must have his reasons. It's quite a coincidence that both Spaniards are leaving, let's say, who played. There's always something there. But,
well, there's only so much we can say based on what we see on the field. And then the one who wakes up sore every morning and struggles to go train is him. That's the thing. That's what you don't
see. That's what you don't
see. The contract was to run until 2027, and that contract is dissolved.
That's why I tell you, Andy, sometimes it's about family. There are family matters, work-related issues. Maybe they already have the chance to take another step in their career. And what Rodolfo was saying, that's not a minor detail. For players of that age, you have to get up every day. Aches and pains in the knee or ankle. I mean, being in
another country. And,
well, that's why I say family matters and interests also weigh in at that moment when it comes time to make decisions.
Yes, because beyond Jordi Alba, you could potentially bring Messi, the absolute best left-back in the entire world, someone with very similar characteristics, a player who consistently overlaps, who actively pushes forward on the outside flank, who expertly reads the game and precisely sends in dangerous crosses. The thing is, with Jordi Alba, there's a chemistry that comes from Barcelona. That's
Busquets, Piqué, Jordi Alba, and Barcelona generation. Iniesta, Xavi, that group scored him. So you could
name the best left back you could bring in, and I don't know if it would be the same, because there's a chemistry that, when it happens, it's
because they were set to win so many things.
More. Yes, exactly. The chemistry just happens. Even when Andy comes, he sits here, he feels at home. He's just like one of us, as if he came every Wednesday. He has chemistry with us, with the show. Forget about it, and those things can't be bought with money. Well, that's why
Messi also organized that, right? The change of bringing in Messi, his player, and his people, right? Suarez, I mean, it's obvious. Now I don't know how all this will turn out.
Yes. All right, let's wrap up the Inter-Miami segment with this cold. Honestly, I don't know. It's cold. Now I
get up and now I'll turn down the air.
I don't know if the inspections, everything is
decorated for Halloween, the ceiling too.
The air conditioning. It's done by the people from Six Sigma Roofing, because honestly, it's freezing. AC, give me the MLS standings so we can analyze them before we close out the segment, and we see pretty much the same thing. They have 2 home games left now against Atlanta, the match we talked about, and then the tougher one in Nashville. Atlanta is currently in a somewhat similar situation to what is presently happening to Naples. They are almost at the very bottom, and then if the tough and challenging match is away in Nashville, Inter-Miami should really consider. They have 1 game in hand, and if they win that game, they move up to 2nd place, and they should also be
playing at home.
Problem. Yeah, no, that's right. The problem is also there. The higher you finish, the more chances you have to play at home. You get to play more deciding games at home. That's right. December 6th.
See myself.
Yes.
I see Inter-Miami, although...
The final? You covered yourself here.
Johnny, you covered your...
Yes, sorry. The cup is looking for me.
On December 6th, you see yourself. Yes.
With Inter-Miami?
Hopefully.
Let's hope for the best for the future.
Hopefully, yes, because it would be good for the local football, for all Messi's fans. It's also good because it's the last year for Jordi and Busquets. Hopefully. There are people who deserve to end their careers with a title, so hopefully. What do you
say, Mariana? Hello, good evening. Pablo, another thing, today we're not talking about River. Yes, you're right. Today we're not talking about River. Because...
He was cold. You mean because he was cold?
No, you don't say anything then. It's...
Cold.
No, because of the...
Maybe Rebecca says, Carlos, you look really nice with your beard like that. I don't know.
Very good. No, I have to talk about River. Go ahead. I have to talk about it, but then we'll wrap up because it's still really cold and we have the Tarjetazo. We still have the Tarjetazo. The Tarjetazo is coming up. The World Under-20 Tarjetazo is coming up, and we're going to talk a little about it. Pablo says that if we don't talk about River, it's a waste. The Argentine League, folks, is a waste. Why? The same problem as always. Too many Argentinians. Come on, wrap it up.
Six Sigma Roofing, leaders in roof inspection and construction in Southwest Florida. We offer room remodeling and even complete renovation of your property. We can also build the house of your dreams. We have various models for you to choose from. We are currently located in Fort Myers, Florida. You can reach us by calling 239-888-6613. Alternatively, you may also contact us at 239-839-4243. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Sigma R.
All right, let's go. So, card time then. Since we're running out of time, let's go check out this segment we implemented last week, which sparked some discussion. It's in one section, and there are 3 segments. The play on, which is something a referee did well. The yellow card, which is for someone who doesn't deserve a red, but it's a warning. Attention. And the red card, which comes at the end, well, you know what that's for. You already saw it last week. So let's go with the play on, which is precisely about the referee from the Naples game. This happened on Sunday in Omaha, and I want to say the referee was Alex Beer. Excellent. Because there was a foul up there, he played the advantage rule. There was a foul by Dengler here, he played the advantage rule. 2 advantage rules. And now he goes and books him.
Perfect.
Very good, very good. That's what I want to see.
Perfect.
That's what I want to see before we move on to the next one. Play on for Alex Beer, the referee of Ian Naples. 2 advantage rules in the same play. Now let's go with the yellow card. This, what we were talking about, Carlos, happened today in the Argentina versus Nigeria match in the under-20. Look at this entry.
That's what I asked of you. That's what Mr. Rodolfo Cardoso was asking for, that coaches be able to order the bar. There, Mr. Placente asked for it to be reviewed by the referee. And now you're going to see Pepiso. It's not tremendous. Ask for the blue card. No blue, green, sorry, the green card.
Green.
There he asks. So they're implementing that in the U20 World Cup. Then the referee goes and checks it. But he checks it and sticks with the opinion he took from the yellow card.
To Mr. Mariani from Italy, who was the referee of this match, I'm going to give Mariani his yellow card.
You have to take it out.
Red.
But it is not Sonic.
Yellow type Mariani. And I'm going to explain why the referee goes to the VAR. Yes, because now luckily they listened to me. How long has VAR been around? For 4 years I've been asking for the same thing, that it should be requested by the main actors. Well, they're testing it now. In this U20, the coaches requested with a green card. The Argentine coach requested a review of this play. The referee went to see it and came back, but stuck to his original decision. I don't agree. When he speaks, he explains that he keeps the yellow card because the contact was low, on the foot, and not above the ankle. Mariani, my friend, that play was excessive force. It doesn't matter if it was on the foot or wherever, because he could have broken his leg. It was with no chance of playing the ball, and with such excessive force that it could have sent him to the hospital. So at that point, the location of the contact becomes secondary.
And from behind,
And from behind, the player receiving the tackle has no way to defend himself. So regardless of where the contact was, it's excessive force. That's a red card. But without a doubt, now I'm only going to give the yellow card because there are worse things. Mariani, you got lucky. Because there are people worse than you. There are worse things. But no, wait, don't let it go yet because that deserves a separate comment. What I want to say about this play that happened in the Argentina-Nigeria match and about VAR is that I hope the referees, the other day when I was here, I asked, what is the worst mistake a referee can make? Ego. I hope referees don't start with that nonsense of not making a call just because the coaches ask for it and not another referee. And then when it's a close call, they try to find a way to stick to their original decision. Because when someone from above, someone in the VAR who has more power than you calls you, you don't have the guts to go against them and stick to your decision. You go, make the call, and change your decision, and do what the guy upstairs tells you, because he's a referee. Now that coaches are the ones asking, guys, I'm telling the referees, do what you have to do. Not just because a coach asks for it. Just like I don't like it when referees are discredited and people say, oh, they've never played and so on. Well, those who have played, you haven't either. No, just because a referee didn't ask me for it. No, if a coach asks you for it, even if they're not a referee and they're showing it on camera that it's the right call, you have to do it. It's over. No, the difference now is that the referee is left exposed. The difference is that now the referee is left exposed. Talk a bit.
The chat, you finish with your...
Come tell me, Chala.
He's a little angry, but relax. Did you relax? Well, first green card from Mateo Foster says one way out, Auto Carme. Who is it? Fútbol Kemmer?
Well...
You know...
The Peruvian friend.
Yeah.
The Peruvian friend who left. Name? Salim. A tie in the women's game today.
Greetings, Brian Marr. What did I do? Watch out for the Argentina under-20 team. They're doing really well and have a lot of good players like Mora and Monti.
If we're talking about Mexico, obviously they also beat Chile 4-1, and they're going to face Argentina. Now let's move on to the red card.
This happened in Argentine football, and I want you to know before we start that in this match, the team in white is Estudiantes de La Plata.
The team in black is Barraca.
Central.
Barraca Central is the team owned by the president of Argentine football. On that team, Barraca Central, the son plays.
The son of...
President of Argentine football
Plays. It's not President Tapia. It's not Prestibar at all, indeed.
No, he's not the president. Barraca is the president's team.
That's my opinion about how the team is.
The team, right? Insua is really clever because before he used to talk about the plays and now he's fine. Now he works for those in power and has to say what he has to say.
He's the coach of the team owned by the president of the AFA, even if he's not the president of Barracas, but it's his team.
The stadium is named after him. His son plays. So I want you to see this because honestly, these are two plays in the same match. This is the goal that tied the game for Barraca Central.
We've got Lobo there.
There it is, look. This is a tremendous studs-up foul against the Estudiantes defender. And obviously, nothing is going to happen. The VAR. All right, thanks. Here, there, look. Look, you'll see it better with these two cameras.
But did I have to see 4 cameras to realize it?
Right? Well, but how many cameras does VR have? It has 15 cameras. No, it has 4. It sees much more than this. But when they don't want to see, they just don't see it. Look. Is it so difficult to collect that? No, but since it's the team in power, there was no referee on the field. It may be covered.
There's my friend
Nazareno Araza sent it to you. Ara is called now, because the truth is that Nazareno Aras. This is the second play. I gave you his cards, didn't I? Yes, I have them there. I don't use them. You put them in a frame? No, they're just there, they're there. This is the second play. They disallowed it.
2 goals against Estudiantes, then this one.
Very badly disallowed. But I want you to see this. This is outrageous, this is a disgrace. Because looking at it, people on their phones figure it out faster than the referees in the VAR when it comes to making a decision. It's unbelievable, guys. They're so afraid to make a call against the owner's team that it takes them 5 minutes. 5 minutes. A handball.
offside and...
Not 5 minutes. Now you see. It took them 5 minutes and then they added 6 more. People don't believe in anything. People say everything is rigged because that's what people say.
The lines are blurry. The lines are almost...
There they are. Look at this.
It's the same line,
The funniest thing, they should pause it there.
Very close.
No, it's close. The funniest thing is that, look over there. Check it out. Let it keep playing to see if the round red circle appears so people know where to look. It's over there. The very last pair up at the top, the final pair up at the very top, is indeed the defender, because the blue line is specifically designated for the defender, while the red line is intended for the attacker. However, for the defender, they have strategically placed the line directly on the defender's foot, which effectively means they have moved the line up just a little bit.
We say that sometimes, depending on where you stop the play, it could be or not. But now I say, and not because he's someone I know, no, Nazareno, but the referee. I mean, there's more responsibility on the VAR than the referee.
That's why, Nazareno, it's very
close. They're telling him offside. Then yeah, well, you trust that if they're watching it and they've seen it 10 times and drew the lines and everything, he didn't draw the...
Caro Araza, I'm going to let you off because you're a friend of Carlos.
There it is.
I'm going to let you off because on the field, it wasn't your responsibility, but to your VAR team and to Mr. Chiqui Tapia, I'm giving a red card.
No, we have to be there on Friday. Be there with the Argentina national team.
Maybe Tapia doesn't even say anything to them, but there are people who are more papist than the Pope, or they're scared and just to be safe, they do everything by the book. But these things, guys, lead to a lack of credibility. This can't be allowed because if they show you the play a millisecond before or after, well, that's more or less acceptable. But if they move the line, and instead of putting it at the tip of the boot, they put it in the middle of the foot, that's just blatant. Red card for you guys.
Something, Franco? We also send greetings to VCAT and to the B people who are the ones who feed us.
Thanks to everyone in the chat, Andres, Maria Carolina, everyone, Brian Mateo, all the Andreses, Christian, Pablo, thank you for being there. Greetings to everyone, thank you all.
We send our regards to Christian Ati, our official photographer, also the photographer for the 209 crew, who is not going through a good time with his family right now. We send him a hug as well. There it is.
Christian's number is readily available there in case you ever need truly amazing photos, perhaps for special events, significant birthdays, or lively parties. That's 2397844342. He provides absolutely top-notch, truly professional photos, and honestly, Christian is an absolute wizard with his camera and edits like a genuine champ too, so you consistently end up with those absolutely stunning, breathtaking photos. So, well, my dear folks, we've finally reached the very end of our segment, and we still have just one final result left from the
UPCLL, which is Division 1 from the weekend. Calwa won again, 4-0 against EMG Stay. Well, FC Naples, the team I coach. We lost as visitors against Twin River and Charlotte, 3-2. Honestly, it was a very entertaining match, decided in the last minute with a controversial penalty play as well. But anyway, all the teams are still in the competition. There are 5 or 6 matches left. There's still a lot ahead for the teams here in the area. As for UPCLL for Fire City, the team that plays UPCL, Premier Tuvo, they had a free weekend. I think they had a match right now they were playing. So we also want to send our regards to the people from For City, who are also going to play in the US Open Cup, which is the national cup that all the teams play in, and FC Naples is also participating. And well, we hope they have a good competition. And the guys here from Napopol, very good, very
good. So, to wrap up the U20 update, yesterday Mexico won, and they're doing very well with Gilberto Mora. They have several players who play really well, and they're going to face Argentina in the quarterfinals. Now, Colombia has also advanced. They won 3-1 today, but Argentina versus Mexico is one of those matches that always has that extra spice, no matter the category. What would you say to our Mexican friends? Let's see.
No, it's fine. For them, it's much more important than it is for us. The Argentine national team is doing very well. They have kids who play really well. Unfortunately, today, Argentina's number 10 got injured, a clavicle fracture.
The kid plays in
Botafogo, but anyway, Silvetti played too. The kid is at Inter Miami. The one from Rosario scored a goal. Honestly, they're doing really well. Today, they gave Nigeria a football lesson. Argentina has a lot of young players who are in great football shape. Honestly, I didn't see Mexico, but like you said, those are good matches. Usually in World Cups, those matches tend to end right there. A 1-goal difference, maybe 2. Yes.
I watched Mexico a bit against Chile, and they have some good individual players. Chile was eliminated. Chile barely made it in at the last minute. They qualified through fair play, just scraping by, really. Max, that's kind of where
we talk about the development process, because that's where the future of the national teams is. The next 5, 6, 7, 8 years are there in the under-20s.
And
then we complain about why the national teams sometimes do well in qualifiers and all that, but that's where the development process really matters.
Yes, sometimes there are exceptions too, because look, I think Argentina hadn't reached under-20 quarterfinal in I don't know how many years. A lot. I'm talking many years, maybe 15 years or something like that. But even so, things worked out for the senior team. The process happened differently, but Argentina is a country with a lot of resources when it comes to players, so it's different. But honestly, yes, the development process is important. You have to stick with it, especially when things are going well. That's why I mentioned Venezuela. So anyway, Andy, thank you so much. I'm talking with
you all. I'm getting information that the game on Tuesday isn't confirmed, that the city hasn't fully approved the match yet. And I'm talking about people who met with the organizers 3 hours ago.
Could that match be canceled?
I don't know. We'll see what happens on social media. You'll find out. We'll post it on Instagram and everywhere else. We'll keep you updated as well.
Yes. So, well, we're heading out. We're saying our goodbyes. I was sorry that it didn't work out, but well, next Wednesday I'll bring them. Carlos, some statements from Gago, the coach of Necaxa in Mexico. And I also wanted to talk a bit about the coaches, because you always want to talk about them, whenever you want next time. No, you want to talk about the...
Gati, what do you want to talk about? I don't even want to talk because there's too much attention here. We need to talk about the players who are most important and the people from
the dinner show who were shouting, and about the... No, that's it, Galo came.
Galo, now you can see all the things they're doing. So there you have it. Now we're going to talk more about the players, the coaches, the real protagonists. Yes.
I'm freezing in the fridge. So, all right, guys, see you next Wednesday. Andy, thank you so much. We'll see each other on Friday there in Miami, Argentina, Venezuela. There will surely be people who come from here.
50 people are going from here in a caravan with the Ducks. Caravan.
The whole pregame over there. We're leaving from Naples at 3 in the afternoon, so we'll be arriving there at 5 for the pregame at 8 before the match, and then... well, the whole crew from Naples comes back. The drums, the flag, the whole group, 203 and 9.
Well, yes, there will be a pregame with a grill, so that's good. All right, 3 in the afternoon. Yeah, that's a good time, a good schedule. Well, I guess I'll have to join your group of people who don't work, because if we have to leave at 3 in the afternoon, that's basically midday. All right, that's settled. Franco, thank you. Thank you, Franco. Thanks for being here. Subscribe, leave a like. Yes, see you. See you next Wednesday. Bye. Turn your ideas into unique experiences. audiovisual production, photography, streaming, and events in the heart of Naples. Discover more at www.vstudio. Visit swfl.com, follow us on Instagram, and join our vibrant community today.
Anthony Ricicci Masonry, with over 30 years of experience providing high-quality masonry work. If you're looking for construction finishes, we are your solution. We offer you quality for your projects, both indoors and outdoors. Anthony Ricicci Masonry, supporting soccer in Naples.
Contact us at 239 454 470.
LG Homet Team. Are you thinking about selling your house? Sell or buy your home with confidence with LG Homet Team. Professional aesthetic preparation, professional staging that transforms your property. High-quality photography. Official sponsor of 239 Fútbol Naples. Collier Builders Group Naples, your ally in high-standard residential remodeling and design in Naples, Florida. We create custom-made spaces with excellence and style, thinking of every detail and every home. This significant and important project is proudly presented by the dedicated teams at 239 Fútbol Naples, a prominent football organization, and Way Auto, your highly reliable and absolutely trusted automotive workshop, conveniently located in the beautiful city of Naples, Florida, offering exceptional service to all its valued customers. Maintenance, repairs, and diagnostics with the best personalized service. Your car always safe, fast, and in the best hands. Learn more about us at onewoocare.com.
CGPS accounting service in the heart of Golden Gate. More than 15 years offering accounting and tax services, taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, notary services, and more. Call us at 239-434-7474 or on WhatsApp at 239-449-0316. CGPS Accounting Service, proud sponsor of 239 Fútbol Naples.
Black Mangrove Woodworks, specialists in wood and metal design and fabrication for residential and commercial projects. From tables and counters to unique decorative structures, everything is handmade with premium quality. Black Mangrove Woodworks, artisan design and fabrication in wood and metal. BlackMangroveWoodworks.com, official sponsor of 239 Fútbol Naples.
The Gulf Coast Adult Soccer League is the adult soccer league in Naples.
Games are played at North Collier Regional Park.
Men's, women's, and co-ed 7-a-side soccer, with categories from 18 up to 60 years old. If you're looking to compete, have fun, and connect with soccer lovers of any age, this is your league. 239 Fútbol and Gulf Coast Adult Soccer League, supporting soccer in Naples.
Six Sigma Roofing, specialists in roofing, construction, and remodeling throughout Florida. Protect your home with quality, trust, and fast solutions for every need. Learn more at sigmaroofing.com. This message is brought to you by 239 Fútbol Naples.
At Super Soccer, we live and breathe soccer. Footwear, essential gear for dedicated teams, exciting fan merchandise, and custom-designed uniforms. Now you can easily print your own name and truly personalize your uniform to proudly represent your beloved team in ultimate style with Super Soccer, your premier destination. Sponsor, 239 Fútbol.
Argentinos Naples Club, a cultural space for the Argentine community in Naples.
Event organization, cultural festivals, traditional food, and live bands.
Join this passion on Instagram and Facebook.